All right, welcome back to another Money Donuts Donut Hole. This is the Cooper question and answer segment of the show in case you missed it. So let's lock it in.
This is a lot of pressure for me.
Our question today, Cooper, is it okay to feel behind when it comes to money, even if that's happening later in life maybe?
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone in that who's feeling that way?
I think yes, and I think it is normal to feel behind. You know, we've talked about it in other donut holes where there's so much information out there and so many people telling you you have to have this much saved, you should be doing this, that if you pay attention to it, it's super easy to feel overwhelmed or even, you know, to feel like you're not on track. And, you know, I think when you feel that way, like, just taking a step back and really kind of evaluating what are your goals, right? So if you feel like, oh my gosh, everyone thinks you should retire early with no debt, I'm not saving enough of my income. Okay, well, there is a thing as such as saving too much, right? And so some people get stuck in that. There are calculators out there. Use a retirement calculator. Talk to, you know, an investment advisor and say, can we just do the math on this? And like, am I on track to, you know, hit the goals that I want to do? If you don't have the goals, set the goals, right? And figure out, okay, my only goal is I want to be able to live the same lifestyle I'm living, right? Or I know I want a little extra because I want to travel more. Okay. So, you know, being really mindful of that and remembering your car's probably going to be paid off. You might be really close to paying off your house in retirement, or maybe you choose to rent. So you don't have to have the extra responsibilities. You know, things are going to change.
Let me push back right away. If you do end up doing one of those calculators and it's like, yeah, you are not financially where you should be, should you start freaking out then?
No, don't freak out. Again, you know, the calculators are always just, they're an estimate, right? And so I think if you do one of those and you see that you're off track, I think that's a really good time to then say, okay, I think I need to sit down with an expert and like really go over this, you know, someone who can give you the very clear cut, not an estimate of an answer, right? And I think like right now, we have to remember too, like the economy changes, the financial world changes, and we're seeing that in interest rates and things. And knowing that happens, like history has happened, it's okay. Like we can account for some of those, but that's also a really great time to get in with an expert to talk about some of those things too, to get some reassurance that like, okay, if things are going down right now, it's okay. Like here's how they recover and can fix. So
yeah. I think the root of this question is like money can be stressful. Yeah. How can you make it less stressful? I think using some of those tools on your own to figure it out and getting a second opinion when it makes sense or if there's further questions is kind of a good way to approach that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mic drop. Just kidding.
See you next time.